Hello, it's been 2 years since I posted part one on block printing. I still have my carvings, so I thought it was about time I did part two. Here we go. Printmaking, part two, stamping, or also known as pulling a print. Let's get started. Okay, I have all my supplies ready. I have the stamp that I carved 2 years ago. I have some ink. I just used some Speedball water-soluble ink, easy to clean. I have a brayer to roll the ink on. I have a Baron, and I always forget the name of this, and I have to look it up every time. So I have a Baron, which you don't need. You could actually just use another brayer, or you could use your hand to push the print on. I have the paper I'm gonna print on. I'm just gonna use some yellow, and I have something to put my ink on. I used to put my ink on a piece of glass that I got from a picture frame. I taped the corners so I wouldn't get cut, but then one day I accidentally stepped on it and I broke it, so I have this little ink holder thing. You could even use like a plate or anything else really. So I'll put this to the side. I'm gonna put some ink, just like a small amount, on my ink plate. Oh my gosh, that's super liquidy. I haven't used it in a while. That's okay. Oh my gosh, I'm just making a mess. Now I'm gonna take my roller, my brayer, and roll it through the ink. Not all of it though. I don't know how well this rolls. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of ink. We'll see how well this turns out. You want like a nice cheesy sound. Right now it sounds like I have too much ink on my brayer. So I'm just gonna wipe some off on a scrap piece of paper. Too much ink. Put that to the side. This is messy business. Okay, I'm picking up my roller to get it all the way through, all the way around my ink. That's probably good. I'll test it out with this. Okay, I don't want to set this directly on the table because I'll probably get ink on the sides, so I have some paper underneath it. And I'll gently roll the ink all over my stamp carving. I kind of like it when a few pieces around the edges get some ink on it too. Kind of looks rustic. Okay, I think that's all the ink. I'm gonna set this there. Take my first piece of paper and place it on top. You could either use your hand, you could use another roller, you can use a Baron if you have one to push the ink onto your paper. I like this thing. I bought it. It's pretty helpful. I used to just use a different roller and roll it on. So you want medium pressure. You don't want to go too hard because it might get all smudgy. Too light and the ink won't actually stick. So let's see what that looks like. I'll pull this up. What do you think? What's it look like? That looks pretty good. I can actually just set that to the side. Now, each time you make another print, you'll want to re-ink. Now my ink is sounding good. Re-ink it. That looks good. Oop. Let's see what happens when I just use my hand. I'm just gonna use my hand to push it down. It doesn't give as much even pressure, so if you have ink somewhere you don't want it, you might get some extra ink on your print. But it works anyway. Let's see what happens. That looks good too. Okay, so this is good. If I want to clean it off, I can just wipe it with water. I'm not going to re-ink it. Here, I'll just push some ink off of it before I clean it. Perfect. Actually, no, this one's not perfect. This is, needs more ink, but this is just to clean it off. Okay, I think this was pretty successful. I made my 2 prints so far using black ink on just regular colored paper. If you want to do something more interesting, you could watercolor the backgrounds before printing on it. You could add different colored ink to the print, but this is the basic stuff. So put them down. Also, I'm not completely really a person who would be like, subscribe, because I don't care. I don't mind. Watch whatever videos you want at your leisure. I'm not forcing you. Do your thing and have a good day. Make some art or something. Okay. Bye.